Back at it again. Chris Shanafelt with the NFL Draft Bible, NFLDraftBible.com, bringing you the names that you need to know since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com. Give them a follow on Twitter, NFL Draft Bible. And this is a name, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with it just yet, come next week, East-West Shrine Game. He has an invite there. He's looking to make a lot of noise over there. This will certainly be a name that, in the coming months will start gaining some speed, and I think he has a legit shot being a draft pick at some point in the 2018 NFL Draft. He is the all-conference cornerback out of Villanova University, Malik Reaves. And Malik, really appreciate you taking some time this evening to chat. Is it crazy to think that your collegiate career, your time as a college athlete is now come and gone, and here you are now putting in work. You got the East-West Shrine Game invite, and now you're looking to make football your everyday job.
I embraced it, and I'll probably never forget those memories. I made good friends, probably best friends, brothers, met great coaches, great professors, great everything. Great there was just great. So I enjoyed my time there, and I'm happy to be moving forward with the next chapter. And hopefully it's still playing football. So
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, at this rate, it certainly looks like that's where your future is pointing towards. And just looking at what you're able to do throughout your time at Villanova, Malik, I mean, you're a two-time all-conference cornerback playing in one of the tougher divisions or conferences in all of the FCS, in the CAA. Had a CAA wide receiver on last night, Ray Bolden of Stony Brook. Go ahead and check that out if you guys missed it. Quick plug right there. But overall talent in the CAA, I mean, every year it seems like there's a lot of talent coming out of that conference. What was it like playing against that competition, week in and week out?
I enjoyed it. You take every little play, every snap could be the biggest play of the whole entire game. So every game is like a high level of football. Everybody you're playing against is great competitors. Everybody plays at a high level. So you always got to be on your P's and Q's every single play, every single snap.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Again, one of the toughest conferences in the country, in the FCS and the CAA. Now, Malik, you are from Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, talk about your journey to Villanova University. How did you ultimately wind up there? And, you're a 4-year starter. So how, as a true freshman, were you able to come in right away and earn the trust of your coaches and teammates and have them believe in you, that you knew what you were going to be, that you knew what to do from the get-go?
Well, my journey there was pretty. It wasn't too complicated. Coming out of high school, I had maybe 10 to 12 offers, maybe. But out of all the coaches that offered me, out of the teams, everybody, the coaching staff at Villanova showed me the best attention. They showed me the most attention. They was coming to my school to see me. They were calling me throughout the week, checking on me. They were coming to the games. Not just one coach, not just like the same recruiting coach. Multiple coaches came. Coach Ferrante even came out one game, and he doesn't even recruit Florida. And he was an assistant head coach at the time, and that's when I knew like it was something that I wanted to be. And then when it comes to the academic side, like I said earlier, that the academics there with the athletic department and with the academic department, everything is great. So the academics played a huge role when it came to my mindset as well, because football doesn't last forever. So I just wanted to go somewhere overall and just get a great degree, have a great education, and hopefully learn as much as I could and meet some great people.
And Villanova University is certainly a great university to do that at. Again, great on both the athletic side of things and certainly academics as well. Now, you brought up Coach Ferrante, who was the head coach of the Wildcats this past season. His first as the head coach was an assistant for about 18 years. Before that, you spent your first 3 years under the legendary Wildcats head coach Andy Talley. What was that kind of like being, just over the past 4 years, both Talley and Ferrante? I mean, being coached by these legendary college football coaches. What was that experience like? And was there any kind of but was there any misstep or anything in the transition from the Talley era to the Ferrante era this past season?
Well, being coached by those two coaches was outstanding and great. They teach you more than just being a better athlete. They teach you a lot about being a man and just how to mature and grow overall to shape out to be a great person. So having those two were outstanding. Coach Talley, he's a legend. He's always going to be a legend. So I can't. There's probably no flaws that he has. To be honest with you, he knows everything. He's probably one of the smartest guys that I've met, and he plays it real cool and just does his thing. He just sits back and watches and observes. And as for Coach Ferrante, him transitioning into the head coach, I don't think he missed a beat at all. Coach Ferrante was a great head coach. I consider him like the Italian Nick Saban of the FCS. And it was just great having him. He always has your back through everything. He doesn't just quit. He's not quick to just attack a certain thing. He hears you out. Coach Ferrante's like he's a great role model as well as a coach. So I enjoyed having him. Like me and him, we built a great connection over those 4 years as well. He calls me and checks for me to see how workouts going now, training's going for me now. He just talked to him yesterday, actually, like an hour convo. He still tells me about nutrition. He's been telling me about eating healthy since college.
Hey, and like you said, I mean, Ferrante's not a guy that'll necessarily go out and visit every recruit or anything like that. But with you, he came out and seen a couple of your games as you were looking, or when you were deciding on where you were going to further your education and playing career at. Now, Malik, watching your game, really, if you turn on the film, if you turn on, especially you've been promoting these highlight films that you've had created lately. I mean, the first couple plays, I mean, you really see a couple things that stand out, and that's the physicality. It's really nice to see. One of my favorite things in a defensive back is physicality. Are they willing to, get their nose dirty? And that you certainly are. You're not afraid to lay a hard hit. And sometimes, especially in cornerbacks, Malik, you'll see some guys kind of shy away from making a hit or a tackle, and we've seen that with a great just a week ago, I believe it was, Reaves, who's now with the Kansas City Chiefs. But that's neither here nor there. But so you're able to lay a hard hit. You're not afraid of contact. You're not afraid of physicality. And then the second thing is obviously you're a great tackler. I mean, offensive ball carriers, they're not going to be bouncing off of you for extra yardage. You're going to either lay a hard hit or you're going to wrap them up by their ankles. You're going to stop them in their track. That's what I was able to really gain away from your film and your highlights, Malik. I mean, I'd like to ask you though. I mean, what do you think is your biggest strength of your game, and what is something you'd like to sharpen on and improve?
I think my biggest strength, if I could choose one in my own opinion, I think my biggest strength would be just my energy level and my confidence. My confidence is high. I'm not cocky or anything like that. I'm just confident. So when I make my out there and compete on every play, so it's just my confidence level is probably my biggest strength. Like outside of just like the athletic ability, I think my confidence level is what keeps me going and what makes me. I would be embarrassed to get ran over in front of people or stiff arm or get even a slant call to me. So when my pride is too big for that. So I always know just I got to get my head together, get confident in my head, and just go out there and compete. And I keep that confidence level. When it comes to athletics, I think my biggest strength is probably tackling, things like that. I love to tackle. I love to hit. I'm not afraid to hit at all. I enjoy it. It's probably my favorite thing to do. As weird as it sounds to be a corner, it's probably my number one thing to do is tackling. So, but overall, I think I'm a 360 player. I like special teams. I like tackling. I like covering. I enjoy everything. And my biggest thing that I think I should work on is probably everything. I don't think I'm great at anything, to be honest. So I would love to work on being a better cover corner, being able to mentally break down offenses, being able to see route trees, being able to just be able to make plays that are there and just always be able to know what's coming next. When you know what's coming next, I feel like you could play faster and play better. And another thing that I would consider one of my strengths is just my leadership. I like to lead. I like to lead by example on the field. I just want to always do it right on the field so the people watching me or the people under me can always just know that's something they want to do as well. So those probably are, in my opinion, are those things for the strengths and weaknesses.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned your leadership quality and just the fact that you were a leader of that Villanova defense and that defense and that specifically that secondary. I gotta think really needed a leader last season, your senior year, Malik. Seeing as you guys took a huge hit early on in the season when Rob Roll went down with an ACL injury. He was viewed as preseason conference defensive player of the year. He had 6 interceptions the year prior. And I gotta think that could really take a toll on some of the guys mentally, as well as physically. Asking guys to step up, and that's certainly what you were. I gotta think asked to do, and you obviously rose to the occasion. I mean. Talk a little bit about how you guys were able to overcome that and how big of a loss that was for you guys and how you guys were, again, able to overcome that.
The way we was able to overcome it is just coaching and always being there for each other and just knowing, because no matter if you're a 1, 2, or 3, everybody gets coached the same way. Our coaches don't do favors the same way. Everybody's in the film room the same way. We do extra film. The DBs do extra film every single day. Like, we get together as a collective whole and go in there and watch film in different groups. Our coach is always on us about film. So everybody's prepared and practices like they're going to play on Saturday, or like they're going to play that Saturday morning, night. It doesn't matter. Everybody's prepared the same way. So everybody's ready for that next step. So it doesn't matter if you're 1, 2, or 3. Everybody's treated the same. Everybody prepares the same way. So when it came, and then also we call them quads. So I'm going to say quad when I mention them. So when he's a great leader. So no matter what, he was in a film with us, even though he could be down on himself. He was in a film with us. He was coaching up the younger safeties, being on the field, helping the safeties and make calls. He was just always supportive. And when you have somebody being supportive behind you, you don't want to let them down. And we all just knew we had each other's back, and we just put in the work for it.
Again, we're chatting with 2018 NFL Draft prospect Malik Reeves, cornerback out of Villanova University, here on the NFL Draft Bible Player Spotlight Show. Don't forget you can check out this interview as well as more NFL Draft material over at NFLDraftBible.com. We got the East-West Shrine game, the NFLPA game as well next week, so keep locked and loaded at the NFL Draft Bible. And speaking of the East-West Shrine game, Malik, we'll actually be crossing paths there in St. Petersburg, Florida next week, and again, you got the invite to participate in the 93rd annual East-West Shrine game. You're going to be on the West squad, coached by Bobby Johnson, who most recently coached the tight ends with the Oakland Raiders. Your defensive coordinator will be the assistant defensive backs coach and former NFL safety Chris Harris. Actually got a picture of him right here when he intercepted a pass in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, that's got to be really exciting just to know that you're going to be around a lot of guys from the league, let alone all the scouts and, player personnel directors that are going to be there. How excited are you to compete with and against some of the best in the nation and, again, be around, all these decision makers from all 32 NFL teams?
It's an honor to be able to just play in a game like this. When I was a freshman, sophomore, things like that, my senior year, just looking up to the older guys like Austin Collegiate, Otano, Don, everybody, it was like looking up to them, seeing them playing those type of games and seeing them make the things that they had to do just happen throughout college and then get to that next level and get to those type of games and just get honored. And it was always a dream of mine to play in something, so I'm thankful for that. Like other great athletes and the NFL coaches, to be coached by such like high name coaches and things like that, it's exciting. It's just something that I can't wait for. I can't wait. Like, I'm hungry. I'm so ready for it. Every day I think about it. So it's just something that I'm really, really, really excited for, and I can't wait to go out there.
Well, as you mentioned, I mean, being around some NFL talent, I mean, it's nothing new for you playing in the CAA, and you mentioned a few of your former teammates that have gotten this opportunity and gotten the shot at the next level. But for you, Malik, when did it all become more clear to you that you had a legit shot at furthering your playing career and getting a look at the National Football League? Obviously, here we are now in January, and still nothing's guaranteed just yet, but your chances are looking pretty good come January. What's today's date? Come January 12th. As of right now, your chances are looking pretty damn good.
I think what I like it's crazy. This is something I always wanted, so I always couldn't wait for it. But also, reality sits in, and you just sit there and you just got to be true with yourself with a lot of things. So my junior year, I played my whole junior season with a torn meniscus, so it wasn't as great as I wanted it to be. So after my junior year, I was kind of down on myself, and I just was like, man, I need to like bounce back good from this. Like I got to make sure I go out here and let people know who I am and what I'm really about. So just in the off season, I trained as much as I could. I practiced craft every single day, and then coming into the season, I I just started realize I started like seeing all these NFL scouts coming to the practices and things like that, and they came every single day, and I'm meeting with them, and once I took the first NFL scouts become true, and then the next day there's three more, then there's five more, so probably I would go with probably of this past summer is when it started to all actually sink in, and when things started to start to work out in my favor, and I started to see things start to unfold.
Well, you mentioned the scouts coming in and out of Villanova University, Malik. Again, I'm not going to ask for any teams, but what's the talk out there on Malik Reeves? I mean, do you have any idea how they look at you leading up to the draft?
Position wise or what? I mean, I guess I would say they probably look at me as a corner, but a lot of scouts also see me as a free safety or a strong safety nickels. I could play anything. I'll play special teams. I don't care. I'll be the gunner all game. So I don't care what I am. But when it comes to, I mean, I can't really tell you their. I met probably all 32 coaches. They all came. All 32 teams came throughout camp and the season. So I met with all of them, and other than that, like I get a lot of good feedback from my agent. He tells me a lot of information about what the scouts think, what their grades are on me, draft grades, things like that, what they want to see me improve, things like that. So I can't really answer the question exactly because every scout has a different opinion on me.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you said you keep in touch with your agent. That is one of the most important things for an athlete that when they determine that they are going to go pro in their respective sport is the agent process. Malik, what was the agent selection process like for you? And tell us who you ultimately decided to sign with.
The agent process was kind of crazy to be honest. It was stressful, but so during the season, I kind of didn't really want to focus on the agent process too much. I didn't want to take my mind off of what we were trying to achieve, which is to win every single game, win conference, win a championship, and just be a great team, be a great individual, be everything like that. So I didn't really focus too much on the agent thing. But when it came down to like time to choose, it probably was at least 35 agents trying to reach out to me. Probably 35. So I sat down with my family a lot, met with them, me and my family, just talked with them, a lot of chats, a lot of things like that. I kept slowly breaking, and then my list ended up to three. And then when I got to that bottom three, like my mom and my dad just like go with your heart. To be honest, just told me to go with my heart. So I thought on, I slept on, I thought extremely hard, but it wasn't a hard decision. I ended up going with Will Harris with Icon Sports, and I didn't regret that decision at all from the jump. Like I knew just the connection me and him had from the start from when we first met. He'd been talking with me since summer. So just when we first met, I just always knew it was something different about him. He was honest with me every single conversation. He never lied. My family loved him. He was great with my family. He's just a great person overall. So I ended up going with Will Harris for Icon Sports Consulting.
All right, sounds good. Congratulations.
And then shout out to him. That's my man. That's my shout out to him. He hits me up every day, asks me if I need I do not regret that decision at all.
That's awesome.
At all.
That's awesome. And you know what? That's what you want to hear. Especially, this early on in the process. I mean, you have to feel 100% about that decision that you make and who's best for you and who's going to do the most for you and help you out the most. And it certainly sounds like you're very happy with that decision that you made, Malik. And, again, that's really, really good to see and hear how happy you are with that decision you made because it really is a very big one.
I just felt like it was the right thing. Don't get me wrong, the other agents was great. A lot of them were great. Like I'm not saying none of them was bad or sneaky. There's a lot of them were great, but I just had to go with my heart on the choice.
Hey, you're a wanted man, man. You're a wanted man. Couple more questions for you, then we'll let you go. Malik, really appreciate you taking some time this evening. If you had to choose one game out of your entire collegiate career, it could be from your very first year at Nova or just this past season as a senior. Let's say you run into a scout and he tells me, give me one game to check out and why. Which game is that?
Let me see. If I could choose one game that I will choose, it'll probably be this season against the University of Maine or last year against Pitt. One of those two games.
All right. Sounds good. Got a big time FBS program in there as well, so you gotta like that. What do you think separates you from any of the other defensive backs? I mean, you talk about your versatility. You feel like you can play just about anywhere on the field. We talked about the physicality. I mean, are those kind of what you think kind of separates you from some of the other guys?
Oh, those things as well. Like I said, just being a 360 player. I play special teams. I play corner safety. Other than that, my leadership, my hard working, my dedication, my love for the game, things like that. Like to all the teams out there, you'll probably never find nobody who loves the game more than me at this. I love the game, and I know how to lead. And I'm a great teammate, things like that. My character is like, and my energy. You'll never see me out there being sluggish any day. My motor will always be going.
Hey, you know what? And I can certainly attest to your character with the contact that we've had, Malik. And now next question. I'm not really asking you to say that I'm better than this guy, or if you watch my film, you will see all this guy's traits in my game. But is there a current or former NFL player that you kind of try and mold your game after or model your game after, maybe take bits and pieces of their game and add it onto your own?
Yeah, there's three people. My favorite NFL player is Xavier Rhodes. First off, though, like if I'll try to model my game after him. I love the way he plays football. I love the way he plays the position. I enjoy it so much. I just watching him play. I try to study every single thing, the way he covers, the way he opens up, the way he breaks, the way he reads the quarterback eyes, all that type of stuff. And after him, my second player that I probably try to mold my game after mentally is Jalen Ramsey. Like I said, the confidence level with him and his motor is at an all-time high. And the third is probably like a far-fetched since he's kind of new to the game, but Marshawn Lattimore as well. I'm starting to the more I watch him, the more I start to enjoy watching him, and the more I learn things just from watching is the way he plays the game, the way he's not scared to play. He's a rookie out there guarding star receivers already. I just love the way he plays the game, and he doesn't back down from anybody.
Yeah, he's not just guarding star receivers; he's absolutely shutting them down. Hands
Exactly.
down, the NFL Rookie Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. Final question for you, Malik. Let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers are tuned into this very interview. Why should they want the defensive back out of Villanova, Malik Reeves, a part of their team?
Because you'll never find nobody who works as hard as me, loves the game as much as me, and as much as probably dedicated to the game as me. And I bring everything you'll want to the game, every single thing, physically, mentally, and you can't go wrong.
Hey, sounds good. Well, Malik, I had a lot of fun chatting with you. Certainly looking forward to seeing you do your thing next week in St. Petersburg throughout the week at the East-West Shrine game. Again, really appreciate you taking some time, man. Best of luck.
All right, thanks for having me.